This is episode 4 of the Remix Your World podcast with Ash Ruiz. Welcome to Remix Your World. I'm Allison Kalagna, global DJ and music producer turned life remixer and personal growth coach. In each episode, we bring you real talk, inspiring stories, and heartfelt conversations of personal transformation to help you uplift and amplify your life. This is the Remix Your World podcast. What's up, world? Welcome to episode 4 of the Remix Your World podcast. I'm Allison Kalagna, and today I am interviewing my beloved best friend on the entire planet, my Buru, half boo, half guru, Ash Ruiz. Many of you have probably seen so many of our foolish, fun videos, whether they're carpool karaoke's or us acting silly in the woods, fighting mountain lions. I didn't actually see the mountain lion. He saw it. Once he said mountain lion, I ran down the mountain. But we have unbelievable amounts of joy together. And part of that is because of our presence and play. And he demonstrates this amount of presence and play that I have really grown to honor in my own self. For a while, I can remember when I first kind of came across personal work and personal development and opening to my own spiritual awakening, I, then had these ideas that it had to look and it had to be a certain way, or that it had to be presented in a certain way. And I was just putting more labels on top of labels and more boxes on top of boxes, and it still feeling, not as open as I wanted to feel. It was like I just kept adding more layers on top of it. And when Ash moved here, our relationship got so much closer, obviously, because I got to see him almost every day. And his presence and playfulness is something that he does no matter what he is in. This is someone who truly lives the highest value of joy. And that has been the biggest, lesson for me. And he's helped me with my own joy and my own coming of, wow, you can wake up, you can have darkness, you can see light into that darkness, you can have joy, you can have play, and you can curse, and you can talk about sex, and you can do really fucking anything and still be awakened to the joy that is always possible. And that is Ash Ruiz. He brings joy into the room everywhere. So he is here today, and he's going to talk about his story, and we'll just jump right in. Welcome. Here is Ash Ruiz.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah!
So if you are considering joining CIJ, these will be the last 2 classes that I will be offering for the rest of the year. You need to jump in quick. You will hear me talk a lot about CIJ in this podcast and what a difference it's made for me in my life and what a difference it's made for some of my students. So if you're in a place right now where you're figuring you want to just upgrade, up-level, remix, and rework, then I highly encourage you and invite you to join me on a powerful 8-week journey through self-discovery. You can find out all the information about CIJ at remixyourworld.com/CIJ. If you want me to text you, text the words Summer CIJ to 44222. That's Summer CIJ, all one word, to 44222, and I'll text you all the information. I hope to see you in class. Ash Ruiz has had the honor to guide, celebrate, and support others in realizing and confidently being the loving intelligence they truly are for the past 20 years through speaking engagements, workshops, retreats, healing concerts, private and group sessions, and by serving along with his group Here to Here as the melodious soundtrack for the greatest spiritual leaders of our time, including Eckhart Tolle, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Gangaji, Adyashanti, Neale Donald Walsch, Michael Beckwith, Sri Ravi Shankar, Gene Houston, Byron, and the Tibetan state oracle to the Dalai Lama. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. Having performed in his teens for millions of screaming fans across the planet with Latin sensation band Menudo, Ash then dove off to the top of Machu Picchu into an intense period of open awareness and self-inquiry among the shape-shifting shamans and their wondrous means of diving deep into the Amazonian rainforest. With an intensely vivid clarity spiked by constant spasms of rolling laughter, Ash's workshops, talks, and music have been featured at the United Nations, on ABC's Good Morning America, and in large spiritual communities and performance venues throughout the world. And now he is here, delighted to be of service to your ever-opening heart on your adventurous freefall into vivid clarity.
Yo, check this out.
Well, hello, Mr. Ash Ruiz.
Hello there, DJ Alison Kalagna, my dear heart.
My dear heart. I'm so happy to have you here on the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Remix Your World.
Thank you. I am delighted. Oh my goodness, I feel fireworks everywhere.
Yeah, funny. I know. I definitely miss you here in Boulder, Colorado, but I understand you need to be in South Florida right now, and that's okay. I support your vision.
Thank you very much. I do have to say that I cry every day because I miss our hiking and everything. It's just like, but yeah, it's fabulous over here too.
Yes, it is. And you're coming here soon, so I'm excited.
I am. Yay!
All right. So basically, we're just going to have a conversation. That's how this works.
I love it.
This 10 questions just to have an inspiring conversation and for you to open up and tell us a story, or few, I'm sure several will come out of you, about, that's just it. So we're going to dive in.
Oh, let's do it. I got my scuba gear on.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to rewind the record. Let's just rewind and go way back. So where does the journey that has brought you to who you are and where you are today begin?
Ooh, well, I'm going to have to say, I love that my life is lived in the intersection of what some would call non-duality and the Zen-like open spaciousness and authenticity. And so I really feel that when I was a little 6 years old, scared to death in a cafeteria after my parents got divorced, didn't want no one to see me, didn't want to talk to nobody, feeling all kinds of heaviness and sadness, a lot more than a little child should ever experience. I had a moment where I sat in the darkest corner. I got my cereal. It was around breakfast time. I opened up my Frosted Flakes. I got my spork. I took a big bite of them Frosted Flakes, and it was the loud, thunderous crunch inside my head. But as a 6-year-old, I thought it wasn't just inside my head. I thought everyone could hear it. And so when I imagined everyone hearing it, I imagined their ears popping off their heads. And then I imagined a cafeteria filled with flying ears, hundreds of flying ears with little wings on them, all shapes and sizes. And then I imagined that these ears needed to come together somehow. And these ears rushed together. And when they all rushed to the center, they created one giant ear. And the moment I imagined one giant ear, there was this softening. There was this kind of like a bubble bursting. And I was no longer a 6-year-old boy. I was no longer staring through the eyes of 6 years of conditioning on this planet. There was a freedom. There was a peace. There was a love. There was an awareness. And the way my little 6-year-old brain interpreted that moment was that, every ear makes God's ear. Every eye makes God's eye. Every hand makes God's hand. And I would say from that moment on, there was this love affair with something deeper than what it is we are taught on the surface. And that's how I live my life today.
It is. It is. I mean, you have been one of my most amazing teachers. So I see it every day when I'm around you. And I just love you.
I just love you.
So can you remember a moment later on maybe that was a breakdown or something that you had to break through, a moment when you're like, I need to remix my shit right now. I need to remix my situation.
Yes, most definitely. I would say the biggest moment for me was when my father passed away as a 16-year-old. My father was diagnosed with AIDS in 1987. And of course, this was a time when that diagnosis was pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for us and really heavy. And then at 14, I got into Menudo, and I was exposed to all kinds of wonderful things in life. And I was exposed to all kinds of people. One of the things that really touched me, or that really gave me some red flags, was just seeing people that were experiencing all the things that should, in a sense, make somebody happy, at least the way we're taught. You know, all the fame, all the money, all the resources, but yet they were not kind, and they were treating people with no respect, and they were unhappy. And so I was kind of stewing that. But when my father passed away, it really was a moment of like, wait a second, what do I want my life to stand for? What kind of person do I want to be? How do I not end up like this person? How do I not end up like this or like that? How do I not end up like my father? Because I really feel that even though AIDS was the diagnosis, what he really died from was shame and a broken heart, because he was a closeted gay man. And so a couple months after he passed away, I was out of that closet.
Yeah, that was when. I was going to ask.
Yes, that was quite the remix, honey. That was a club remix.
Do you remember one of the first things that you did whenever you came out then?
I bought me some knee pads. I mean, what else did I do? Darling. I had a friend.
X-rated show, so it is all good.
Oh, hey. I had a friend, my friend Ray Dell. And he was my dear, dear friend. And when I came out, before I came out, we came out to each other. Because, there's a saying in Spanish that says, ojo de loca no se equivoca, which means the eye of the queen, don't miss a thing. Yeah. So, we had that gaydar for each other, like, I see you, Rush. And so we would call each other ATM, which stood for Attracted to Men. Okay. So we went, he took me to a club called Waterfront, which is like a little dingy point of fabulousness right behind the Miami airport.
Wow. All right. So who do you think has been the most significant people, your teachers, your allies in once you began this kind of remix, or just even up until now?
Wow. Well, nature has always been a huge force of a huge invitation to surrender to the wonder and mystery of life. So that was always a huge teacher. I'd have to say that I met some incredible shamans. I took some time and lived in Peru for almost 2 years. Met some incredible shamans over there who were, you can just see this light from their face that you didn't usually see in other parts of the world. And that was really powerful. When I came back from living in Peru and having some profound experiences, I was introduced to a woman by the name of Gangaji. And she was, I call her my yes. Because sometimes it's so powerful. You can have these experiences and have a deep sense of knowing. But for some of us, we appreciate a confirmation. And I was looking for this confirmation. I could see it in the trees. I could see it in the sky. I could see it. But I wanted to hear a human being say, yo, yes. Yeah. And so she was that for me. And so I forever appreciate that. And now some of my favorites, I call them my diva trinity of clarity. In the vocal world, it's Whitney, Mariah, and Celine. But in this world of spirituality, from my heart, it's Gangaji, Byron, Katie, and Candace O'Denver.
Yes. Yeah. You just bring all the feminine, honey. Yeah.
Darling.
All the feminine teachers. That's amazing. What do you think some of your most used tools or rituals are, like on a daily? On a daily. Well, I love that at any moment
I don't have to believe anything I'm thinking. I don't have to engage in the commentary of my brain. I don't have to engage in the content of my awareness. And it's sweet to just rest as awareness, to just be the open screen here and to notice the love affair that exists with the canvas and the masterpiece that appears on it. And that's I would say my biggest thing. And in that, dancing happens, singing happens, looking at people in the eye at Publix and have a little giggle inside, like, I know who you is, happens. And it's really sweet. I mean, I totally recommend meditation and yoga and there's all kinds of things, going out, being in nature. But for me, what I love now is that the option to rest is so available.
In any moment.
In any moment, yes.
Yeah. You've taught me that. That was a struggle for me for a long time. And I think, like the more that we hung out and the more that we would be outside and things, it was just like, oh, all right. Like you've been such a blessing and a huge teacher with me when it comes to presence, like, wow. I always say, when people ask me about you, I'm like, he is the most enlightened being that I possibly know, like by far. And he happens to be human and in this world. So it is.
Oh, my heart. It's possible for us to be in love, isn't it? I love that.
It is. So talking about music,
okay.
Give us I know it's hard for us, for music people to choose one, right? But if you had to choose one epic power anthem that you were just like, I gotta get it, and you gotta blast it. What is it?
Oh, child. One epic power anthem that I have to blast. Lord have mercy.
Because not like you get upset often, but you are human. If you get a little upset about something, what is your I need to pull out something. Well, what's so funny? I'm just thinking of my 14-year-old, 13-year-old self.
And, because I don't have that experience anymore but when I feel into those moments, when I was a kid, music was my saving grace. Yeah. And so especially as a little teenage boy, the song for me was Vanishing from Miss Mariah Carey. That was a huge song, Vanishing. And it allowed me to grieve my father and what he was experiencing, because it's it was like this really slow death, unfortunately. And so that song, I could just put it on and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. But now, now the song that I'm totally loving and I've been blasting is This Is Me from The Greatest Showman.
Oh, yes.
When the sharpest words want to cut me down. I just love that song.
Yeah.
From Miss Kayala something. She's fabulous.
I remember in the movie, I was just like, ooh, this song. Yeah.
Yes. And when they start doing that little dance moment and they're getting it.
It was so good.
Movie. Yes, me too. Totally surprised me. It snatched every weave I own.
That's a lot of weaves, y'all. All right, so what do you think makes you most happiest? What are your most happiest things? We know nature, right?
Yes. And art and people being their authentic selves and watching people burst open like popcorn. Watching people in their face. That's why I love doing my coaching and my self-realization mentoring, because it's so much fun to watch someone recognize that they're not in prison. To recognize that there's open air here, that they can take a deep breath, that life is still present and that they're still loved and adored and that they still have something to share and offer with this world. I love watching people get that. Yes.
It's the aha moment. It's like
those aha moments. Yeah. Yes.
It is beautiful.
And of course, I love watching a drag queen after about 7 drinks, with a microphone on stage.
Yeah.
That's another one of my favorite things.
It literally leaves you on the edge of your seat because you're like, is she going to fall? Is she going to fall?
Yes.
So what do you think most people would be surprised to know about Ash Ruiz?
We'll be right back with more of the Remix Your World podcast in just a moment.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Just a heads up, if you are new to meditating and you have no idea where to start and are looking for a little guidance, I've got something for you. I produced something called the Mindful Mixtape, and I'll send it to you. It's 5 guided meditations led by me, all put to music. If you are interested in downloading this, text the words meditate now to 44222, and I'll send that to you now. Or you can find it at remixyourworld.com.
Yo, check this out.
So what do you think most people would be surprised to know about Ash Ruiz?
Surprised to know about Ash Ruiz. Maybe that I keep a rose water spritzer by my bed. Right before I go to sleep, I gotta spritz my face. I don't know.
Full disclosure, y'all, it's not just by his bed. He is a rose water pusher.
That's right.
All day with the rose petal pusher. Whatever brand you are using, if y'all are listening, here is your spokesmodel, because he's constantly putting it in people's face. And this is how he does. He doesn't even wait for the yes. Do you want some rose? Like going into a car wash. You know that's right.
Yes.
Everybody listening that knows you enough to hang out with you, they know they're like, that's right. So what do you think your biggest lesson has been in remixing your world?
My biggest lesson in remixing my world. Well, it's fun to have such confidence in knowing that a remix is totally possible at every moment. It's we may experience life as one thing coming after another, as linear, but there is so much room here. There is so much space here. There is like an infinite mixing board with all kinds of delicious sounds and flavors. And at any moment, it's possible to pause. It's like stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
And remix happens. Yes, the power of a breath, the power of self-love, power of looking at yourself in the mirror, looking into your soul. Eye gazing isn't just limited to another human being in front of you. You can take your butt to the mirror and look in that mirror and look into your eyes. Look closer than the features and the physical body and you stare right into your soul and tell yourself, stand tall in the truth of yourself, regardless of circumstance. And then a remix is bound to reveal itself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It took me a very long time to be able to do that in the mirror. A very long time. Like I remember when I first started like practicing like mirror work, it was just like, like so shy, what first would come from it is, like the funny, playful, like, oh yeah, oh, you bad, like that, kind of thing had to come from. And it would slowly start to unravel. And now like I can finally, and it's like at 41, I can stand in front of a mirror, butt ass naked, look at myself in my eyes and be like, I love you. Like, I really love you. And it has taken so long to like get to that place from a authentic place that it's like, wow. So,
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love it.
It's good. It's good. So then we fast forward the record. 20 years from now, what are you doing? What do you want to be? Where are you?
20 years from now, I am in an arena, in a stadium, and it's a stage that's not on one side of the arena, it's right in the center. And I am singing with thousands and thousands of beloveds, a sweet song that confirms the bright reality of who we truly are. And I so see that with all kinds of flowers everywhere, all kinds of lights everywhere. And then the mothership comes down and just lifts us all up.
We have the technology.
Okay.
There's some alien technology for that.
Yes, darling.
That's beautiful. So when it's all said and done, what do you hope back and know that it's all about? Like, you know, your legacy. What is the legacy of Ash Ruiz?
The legacy is a genuine smile. The legacy is a relaxed belly. The legacy is an open palm. The legacy is all of the heart prints that are going to be on my chest of all of the beloved hugs and moments I get to share, person to person, heart to heart, spirit to spirit, light to light. And of course, there's music and there's laughter and there's a big open space because I'm so excited for what's going to reveal itself in the next moment. You know, life has a powerful way of showing us, you know, it's like once we grow out of what we thought were big girl panties, life will reveal a whole other set. And be ready to step right into them, beloveds.
Yes. I love that. Oh, it's so awesome. So what do you want to share, share a little bit about your coaching so that people know, you know, what is it that you do and how people can find you and all of that good stuff.
Yay. Well, what I love doing with the coaching, you know, we have so many ideas about who we are. We have so many ideas about where we are in our consciousness and our spirituality. We're very sophisticated in our capacity to have ideas about where how much we think we know, how much we think we don't know. So I just love having conversations with people, helping them get familiar with an aspect of themselves that is fully present and isn't limited to what mind knows or doesn't know. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we can live from a universal intelligence, even as we're experiencing these bodies and this planet and these everyday circumstances. And so I'd love inviting people to get familiar with that, inviting people to gain the confidence in being that in their everyday lives. And I see it happening over and over again. It's totally possible to live a relaxed, vibrant, authentic life, even with whatever circumstances may be present.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that. And where do we find you? Instagram. I mean, I know where to find you, but where?
Yes, you can go to Instagram. You can go to Instagram. You can go to Facebook. You can go to, you can go to my website, ashruiz.com, ASHRUIZ.com. And, you know, there's links on my website to all the social media stuff. There's information about
in the show notes for everyone as well.
Oh, hi.
Yes, and you and I have been talking about doing something for a while, and I
know
it is time that it is most likely to happen this year or something. But we've been, for you guys listening, we've been dreaming up this idea of a retreat for you guys, where it's Ash and I leading a retreat in some magical place, and we've been toying with where that place is going to be. So maybe we'll open it up and get some ideas. Pick out 3 places.
Yes, where do you see us? Just imagine us prancing. Where do you see us prancing?
Yes, the Joy Option Retreat.
Oh my goodness. I am so delighted to be sitting here with you. I mean, you can't see us right now, I do have on some kind of something.
It's a big old crown and a feathered. It's fierce.
You have quite the imagination, darling. It's like, no, I'm really wearing that. But I just want to say that I'm so happy seeing your face and seeing you in this moment, because this is something we've talked about for a while. And I just want to celebrate you and acknowledge all the blessings and all the ways that life is supporting you to come through in this way. You know, you are a particular flavor that this world is hungry for, and so I'm excited for more and more and more. Everyone's got their spoons, and everyone's hearts are open.
Well, that's amazing. I appreciate it, and hearing it from you is very, very sweet and tender, because I wouldn't be where I am without you. That's for sure. So I miss you.
I miss you too. I love you too. Was that 10?
That was 10. So you don't even.
That was the big 10. Oh, hey! I didn't even feel it.
No, that's how I just worked through it, honey. Yes, I know. It's pretty amazing. A little inquiry.
Okay, a little self-inquiry. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. And if there's anything, do you want to offer to the listeners a little Remix Your World promo for anybody who reaches out to you? We had spoken about that. They can use the hashtag Remix Your World for you, and you'll give them a little fairy dust package. I will, beloveds. Let's see. Yes, let me know that you discovered me through this moment, through Remix Your World, either in an email from the website, and I would definitely give you, beloveds, a little fairy dust discount. Fairy dust discount.
Yes, I was going to say a biscuit. I was like, wait, am I going to give them a biscuit?
Well, because that could be translated. You're forgetting my audience. We talk about.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
A whole other thing. They'd be like,
buttered biscuits. Pillsbury Doughboy. Pillsbury Dough Daddy. Yeah.
All right. So talk to us about the music though a little bit before you, because you had mentioned Menudo, and for those who don't remember Menudo, tell it, because you're back with Menudo now. So just give us the music. The whole thing's gone round and round. You done started that record, ended that record, got back on the record.
Got back on the record.
Of that record, and it's basically a remix of that first record.
Okay.
Give us that. Tell us about the.
Well, it's so cool. You know, in terms of music, I'm with Menudo again. I'm also with my band Here to Hear again.
Yes.
And I'm writing some new stuff, maybe for a solo project. But with the whole Menudo thing, I was in that group from 14 to almost 20 years old back in 1991, starting in 91. And then I didn't perform with them for about 20 years. Or longer. And then I got a phone call that they wanted to do some reunion concerts. And you know, after being in the mountains, living a glorious retreat life and very, very, very chill and relaxed, I was like, you know what? Jumping back into the exciting craziness of a Menudo moment would be a lot of fun. So it has been. I've done a couple of concerts with them, and it's really incredible to see how these guys have grown and evolved, and also to see how our friendship and our relationship, because we've known each other since we were 14 years old, remains strong, and the particular flavors of that are still intact, and yeah, it's a really beautiful thing. So I'm blessed to be able to sing with Menudo. I'm blessed to be able to sing with Here to Hear.
Yeah, tell us about Here to Hear.
Here to Hear. Well, Here to Hear. So like Menudo was before ayahuasca, or I could say Menudo was before heart opening, universal orgasmic medicine and insights and aha moments. And Here to Hear was after that. So after going through the washing machine of, yes, all is one batch. I started writing these songs, and life worked in such a way. All the synchronicities started happening where I met Alex Perez, amazing vocalist. He actually put an ad in the New Times that I answered. He wanted to start a group like Boys to Men. And I was like, well, I just came out of Menudo. I have something else in mind, but I'll help you find people for your group. And we started finding other people. We auditioned Jamie Triana, and then we started singing together. And then I shared, this vision of doing songs that are different, that give another option of perception, relationship, and many different circumstances. And we started, when we first started, our band was called Inner Voice. And, from the moment we started to the moment we decided to take our first sabbatical, which was, 5 years ago, we performed for 14 years, and we had the honor of being the soundtrack for many beautiful moments, retreat moments. We performed at the United Nations. We were on tour with the Tibetan State Oracle of the Dalai Lama. We were with Gangaji and Byron, Katie, all of my spiritual sheroes, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, Neale Donald Walsch.
All the greats.
Yes,
all
so
of the
powerful
great spiritual teachers. Yeah,
so much fun.
Wow.
And we're still performing today. I'm going to be performing at the New Life Expo with my band Here to Hear, and we're recording a new Kirtan album. So it's super exciting.
That's amazing. The New Life Expo, oh my God, that brings back memories. The first time I ever saw Deepak Chopra was
oh, cool.
and Wayne Dyer. Those were the first time I ever saw both of those live.
Very cool.
New Life Expo in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's amazing. I love that. And for those of you who are listening and you don't recognize, come on, recognize. So him and Ash Ruiz, this is the same Ash Ruiz that I did all those tracks with, me and Jose Spinnin.
Oh, yes.
We did what our first was Ahora. And then what did we do? We did Same Tribu.
Same Tribu.
Same Tribu.
Tribu.
We just did last year for Pride. What was it? The big one. The Fierce.
They tried to beat it out of me.
Yes.
They tried to, but I'm still here.
Yeah. Yes. And we did write a song. I wrote my first lyrical song with you last year. That we had
oh my God, I'm so excited to work on that song.
But you're going to do that as Here to Hear, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. I love that song. And I love the moment that we wrote it.
I know. That was a special moment.
And I loved all the ice cream we ate while we wrote it.
We did. And it was cold. We ate ice cream on Pearl Street. Awesome. Well, I love you so much, and I appreciate.
I love you so much.
You come back anytime.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll be.
Big hug to you, and big hug to everybody listening. It's been a pleasure to have this time to tickle your eardrums.
Yes, thank you.
That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed our conversation as much as I did. Perhaps something stood out and you'd like to share. If so, head on over to our Facebook group and let us know. I'm going to link all of Ash's information in the show notes so that you can connect with him and follow him on his socials. He's also going to be a regular on the show. We're going to be doing something called Q&A Inquiries, where we talk about everything from spirituality to pop culture. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back for more episodes with him and I. If you like this podcast and want to hear more, consider becoming a Patreon member. Patreon is a great service to help creatives like me get my content out to people like you. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and receive some rewards for doing so. So head on over to patreon.com/remixyourworld and consider becoming a member. I'll greatly appreciate it. Thank you.